Time now for the Stacey and Hutch Say Too Much podcast.
Hide the children.
Where, you guessed it, the dynamic afternoon duo say way too much.
I won't shave armpits. Does it hurt when it grows back?
If there's any ingrown situations, that can be very painful.
No, seriously, that was way too much.
Pit stains. I think they're sexy in certain situations.
So if you're still listening, here they are to start the pod.
Why, I never.
Stacey and Hutch.
Yay!
Yay.
It is Stacey and Hutch Say Too Much. We haven't I don't think we've done a podcast with you, have we?
No, I've never been on this podcast.
Well, you're going to get grilled.
This is very exciting.
You're going to get grilled.
Oh, really?
We're going to bring in everyone from your past.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Even
It's
the
like a therapy session.
even the bad people.
Wow.
Yeah, you're gonna cry.
Is that why I saw them in the lobby?
Oh,
Yeah.
damn
Okay,
it.
Cool.
Damn.
Yeah.
We ruined that
We
one.
need a better system. on
Yeah,
getting
we should have
people
brought
in
him into the
studio.
back.
Yeah.
How are you, Michael?
I'm good. How are you two?
Michael Marcotte. He's the executive producer of Twin Cities Live in Minnesota. What does that really mean, by the way? Like when you're
put that mic a
executive
little
producer.
Oh, a little closer. I know I'm not wearing headphones. So an executive producer oversees kind of the vision of the shows. And they oversee the staff that put the shows together every day. So I kind of look at the shows from a 30,000 foot perspective and be like, okay, January, what are we going to do? And then I have the staff come up with ideas and then I kind of implement those ideas into place. And then I assign segments out to my producers and my reporters and my talent who are on the shows. And then they make everything come to life. So I'm just kind of like the wizard
Oh.
in Oz.
So when it comes to everything we see on TV, you've touched it at some point.
I know of it.
Okay.
I know of what's going on our programs, but I'm not necessarily the one like writing out the scripts for
Got it.
everything. No, I have a whole team that works on that.
Huh.
And they're great at what they do. They're fantastic.
Well, the crazy thing is, before you got this role, you were here before, but then you went to do something else.
I was here from 2005 originally, all the way until the beginning of COVID. And then I took a job at a nonprofit. And then there was nowhere else for me to go here at Hubbard Broadcasting, which was fine. And we parted ways very mutually. And then about a year later, I got a phone call back and they said, hey, we have an opportunity for you to come back here. And we'd like you to be the person to come back and start a new show for us.
And that's when they started Minnesota Live.
That's how Minnesota Live started. So Minnesota Live started in 60 days. I was hired July 11th
Jeez.
and we were live by Labor Day.
Is that typical?
Wow.
No. Well, it depends.
I mean, because our show
doesn't
started
happen very
within a
often.
day. I mean,
Well.
I was hired end of August,
Something like that.
but we really didn't plan what Stacey and I never really planned what the show was going to be like, what it was going to
Sure.
sound like. We just like, you know what, our personalities are going to come together because we had known each other since March,
that
April.
sounds about right.
A lot of
March or
dating.
April.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
March
It's a
or
lot of
April
dating.
of
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah.
Well, she did do a lot of dating
Yeah, I
during that
know.
period. Like
Yeah.
she had met with
Plenty.
10, 20?
I don't even know
I'm sure.
anymore.
It was a few.
Yeah.
I
Well,
remember that era.
That
Yeah.
was a long, long time.
Well,
ago.
and we had to do that before we found Ben Lieber on Twin Cities Live.
Mhm.
You know, after Steve left and before Ben came in, it was a lot of dating, and it's very exhausting.
Is it
It
hard to
is.
find talent that
Well, yeah.
that matches with? And I mean, for me and Stacey, I mean, I've only had one other partner that I've connected with, not on the same level as Stacey, because
Mhm.
Stacey and that person are so different, and I'm sure, but it's got to be hard to find two people that can actually come together.
Yeah, yes and no. It's you want to make sure that someone matches and complements who you already have in place. The benefit that I have with Twin Cities Live is Elizabeth Reese is so great. You know, she does a fantastic job in the afternoons. So anyone can come in and compliment her, or she'll carry the load. But I also want someone who can come in with their own perspectives, their own personality,
Mhm.
and then they bring in stuff that Elizabeth doesn't necessarily have as her forte. So Ben is, obviously
So you
a
got a
former
different take.
Viking
Sports
player.
guy.
He sports all the way through.
Huge sports town too.
Yeah, he's got his cabin. He's got lots of things going for him, and so he complements what Elizabeth has, and that's what we're really trying to look for when
Well,
we look for a new host.
That's the crazy thing, because Stacey and Moon, they never really.
we had nothing.
I know.
really
I
They just-
remember
common.
this
It just-
story.
they were smashed together.
Yeah,
Mhm.
literally.
Like, make it work.
Yeah.
Face to face.
Smashed
Our,
together.
our
That promo
second
photo.
day promo photos.
Mhm.
Hey, it was funny.
Because there was no testing with Moon and Stacey.
No, we were just
No.
thrown in a room.
Which is crazy.
I know. I
Because
don't know how it worked, but it did.
When Steve left Twin
Yeah.
Cities Live, there was a lot of testing.
There was testing. Yep, we did. We had people come in and guest co-host,
Yeah.
and even though the viewer might not know that we were testing out this person, they went through a live trial basically, and like,
Mhm.
hey, here you go. Here's 90 minutes. Can you do it? Yes or no? And
Yeah.
then we do some dating live on the air, and we also will do some testing behind the scenes. So for Minnesota Live, we did a pilot episode.
Yeah.
Because we needed to show everyone here that we can do a show at 9:00 and this is what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
So we did a pilot, and that gives us kind of a barometer of what this is all looking like.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's just so strange piecing people together. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I mean, from the way it sounds from Stacey's career, she's been super lucky with the co-host she's had.
Or am I just that amazing? I can work
that
with
was my
anyone.
second part. That was my second part. Or she's just that good and can mutate
I'm a mutant.
to
I'm
the
a
different
mutant.
roles. Because we always talk about on radio. We said this yesterday.
What?
There's the deer, the dick, and the dork.
Yes.
You know,
The
in
trio.
radio, there's the deer, the dick, and the dork.
Oh, I've never heard that term.
And
No?
we've all kind of
No.
had to gel. For example, when Stacey
Right.
and I first started, we had a producer. We had two producers. We had
Mhm.
Bangs and Grant.
Mhm.
And Bangs was very abrasive. She was the one that just made fun of, made whatever. And me being new, Stacey and I had to be
We had to kind of get to know each
friends.
other.
And
yeah,
we had to be where
Mm.
Bangs was then the one that had to be the dick,
Mhm.
you know? And then things change. And then Stacey and I developed that rapport and that friendship. And then, you know, then I'm the single or I'm the married dad that's goofy and the couch
Mhm.
guy. Then I'm the
Mhm.
single guy that's, you know, and then Stacey becomes, you know, it's a weird mutation
Mhm.
of your personalities. And then you
Mhm.
finally settle after 5 years. We've settled in our roles
Mhm.
of who we are. And it's not
Mhm.
like we have to make it up,
Mhm.
Right.
but it's just how it fell in. And
Yeah.
they say a show 3 years doesn't really gain traction until radio
Yeah.
3 years.
Seriously.
Yeah, you're still new. I mean, I don't know. I think it was like 5 years that the morning show was still like new morning fun. And
Yeah.
I'm like, it's been 5 years, you guys.
It's not new
But
anymore.
some people still were like, oh, so-and-so left. We're like, yeah, where have you been?
Yeah.
But
Well,
we,
yeah.
but
People
we
don't listen
realize
every
it.
day. And like
Right.
we can still consider Minnesota Live as a new show.
Yeah, and
So
it's been on for,
3 years.
yeah.
So we consider that new because people are trying to change habits, and
Yep.
old habits die hard,
They
right?
do.
So when
Oh,
you,
especially after COVID.
especially after COVID, and
Mhm.
especially with TV, you know, I'm assuming that's true for radio too. But like
Mhm.
people know that at 9:00, they know that they can turn on a specific station and they're going to get a local show, or they're going to get national news, or they're going to get whatever. They have a routine already set. So for them to change their habits, we really got to pry in there and be like,
Yep.
hey, over here, we're still doing something new. It's at 9:00. Come on over and watch Minnesota Live. It's tough.
It is.
Do you find your job getting in the way of, because you have two shows you're working on, getting in the way of like your personal life, or is that kind of
The fun part about my job.
what does Cody say about? Should we call,
yeah, right. He's
let's
got
bring
thoughts.
Cody in,
Yeah,
you
right.
know?
Oh my gosh, right. If he was here to weigh in on this, with lifestyle programming, everything I do in my personal life could be a segment. Like
The same with us,
talking
yeah.
to the two of you,
Yeah.
you get it.
Yeah.
Talking to the two of you, this could be a segment on Twin Cities Live or Minnesota Live.
Yeah.
Like taking the train is a segment.
Yeah.
Like, how do you best take the train? Where do you get on and off the train? Like, what's there to do nearby? What are coffee shops that you can get on the train from? Like, everything I do is a segment, so it's hard to turn that off and
Mhm.
turn it back on, and then turn it back off again.
Yeah.
So it's kind of always constantly buzzing.
Well, with us and with partners that we've had throughout our whole career, it's like, is this a bit? You know, is this,
Oh,
is this,
right.
and you know, when Stacey and I have personal conversations, we always, not for air. Okay, so this is what's going on. You know, it's you know, and so a lot of the times, personal life, even more so, I think our shows,
Mhm.
because the show is us.
Mhm.
Yeah, right.
It is our
It's
life.
your name. It's on the show.
Yeah,
right?
it's Stacey getting a divorce. It's Stacey going
Mhm.
through breast cancer. It's me getting engaged. It's you know, all of that stuff. And so there's a fine line with your personal life
Mhm.
getting
Yeah,
into your career.
What do you share? What do you not share? And I feel like you and radio have a lot more that you share on air than we do in television,
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
look at our newsroom.
Yeah.
Like, our news talent aren't necessarily going on a newscast and being like, "Guess what what happened to me last night? I
Yeah.
got divorced, everybody."
Yeah. It is
Yeah.
a
They-
weird
Here's the
animal.
weather.
It is a weird thing for the news people because you want them to be liked by the audience,
Mhm.
but they don't want to say too much personal because then it sounds like they're giving their opinion when they say the news.
Exactly.
It's a really delicate dance,
It's
isn't
a
it?
very delicate dance. And you get people who will email. I get emails from viewers all the time
Mhm.
when we love viewer emails, but it'll be like a viewer saying, "Well, I don't like how they talked about their partner. I just want the weather." I'm like, "Well, I get it, but you're trying to make conversation while giving the weather
Right,
forecast,
yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
there's a fine line for sure.
It is
on all
really
of that.
hard.
And that's until, you know, the news people make the news. For example, Matt Belanger.
Mhm.
You know, when his whole situation happened, he
right.
got attacked.
Yeah.
Now his personal life is,
Mhm.
you know, and
Mhm.
it's so different and weird. I think for them to feel that, wow, now my life is
Yeah. In case you
Okay.
don't know, we're talking about he was physically attacked by someone
with a
downtown.
rock
On the
to the eye.
off the light rail, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody didn't like
Yeah, got hit in
his
the eye.
life or whatever and
Mhm.
decided to throw a rock at his face.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
it was scary.
Yeah, very scary.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
But he's
just,
okay now.
He's more than okay now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it's one of those things where you just kind of have to realize that personality and life do blend into your career in media as much as maybe you don't want it to.
Mhm.
So it's pretty interesting, especially to see where you've come, where you've gone. I've only been here 5 years, but to see the single Mike Marcotte to now the family dad and
know,
the,
right?
you know,
The last 2 years of my life have changed a lot.
yeah. Speaking of your career, it's kind of
Mhm.
taken on this weird Christmas turn. Have you always been a fan of Christmas and holidays? And
Great question. Yes, absolutely. Like, who doesn't like Christmas, right? Who doesn't like the holiday season, right? So
good thing Alex isn't here.
Well,
Yeah, really.
Oh, yeah.
Mr.
It's
Grumpy.
Grumpy.
Alex
He's not
over
in
there.
there.
I know.
He's down
It's
the
a
hall.
bummer. Okay, good. Well, hi, TJ. Looking at us like we're crazy. No, I've always loved the holiday season. I've always loved Christmas. It's meant a lot to me and my family. Like Christmas Eve, like candlelight service, 11 p.m.
I love
like
that.
just gives you the chills. Like it's just so fun. So back in 2017, I was noticing that the newspapers weren't publishing where people go see holiday lights,
Mhm.
right? They stopped doing that. And there was a big show, Holiday Lights in the Park at Phelan Park in St. Paul. And as a kid, I would go there every year. My mom would drive us in the car. We'd take the Buick down to the Phelan Park and we'd go drive through this light display that was put on the IBEW. I think the workers in town, the union in town would put this big show on. They stopped doing it. They ran out of money.
Aw.
They stopped. They just said, we've done this enough. So I was like, where do I go see lights? I want to see lights. It's a big part of my holiday routine. So nothing was being published. No one was talking about it. Well, I was like, well, I have a website. I have a platform. So I said, hey, if you have a holiday light show, let me know about it. I'll make a guide and put it up on my website. And I got like that year, I probably got like 75 different entries. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so that was 2017. Fast forward now to this year, I have 175 displays.
Wow.
Not the big shows, not just the little shows, but the homeowner displays, the organizations that are putting on holiday light shows, the senior communities that are putting on light shows all across the state of Minnesota, Western Wisconsin too.
But wait, where will we find this list you put together?
Great question, Stacey. GiveMeTheMike.com. MIKE is GiveMeTheMike.com. The first link on my website is this 2024 Minnesota Holiday Lights Guide. And again, 175 displays. The best part about my guide is that there's an interactive map. It's incredible. I love this resource because you can go on here. It's mobile friendly as well. You can go on, you can put in your address and create a route for you and your family this holiday season.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
What is one of your favorite holiday displays this year that you've put up there? First off, one of the big ones that I do like to talk about, Mankato does a great job.
Mankato does a fantastic
It's free.
job.
If you want to donate, you can donate and help out, but Mankato has always done a great job.
Mankato's show at Sibley Park is incredible. So it's the Kiwanis Holiday Lights. It runs through December 31st. It's on 7 nights a week. 2 million lights as part of this display. You can walk through the display or drive through it as well. It's awesome. And they do a fantastic job. And like you said, Hutch, they do collect donations, but it is completely free to check out. So that one I highly recommend that one. I was just at Sam's Christmas Village last week. We did a Twin Cities live broadcast out there. 16 million lights out there
Wow.
at Sam's Christmas Village.
Did
It's
they tell
crazy.
you what their electric bill is? I'm dying to know.
I should ask.
Yeah.
I should
Maybe
ask.
next time.
A lot of these homeowners, though, are especially with the homeowner displays, are using LEDs,
Oh, sure.
and it comes out to be a lot cheaper than what you would think it would be.
Remember those
I'll bet.
C9 bulbs?
Oh my
that
gosh,
you
those
Oh my
big,
gosh.
fat, yeah, right.
And they'd cut you because one would be broken in the box.
I've been getting a lot of questions on my email, on my Facebook page about the bus tours too. So there's 2 big bus tours in the Twin Cities that you can take. They're open air. So you rent out a bus for you and 12 of your friends. You can bring liquor on board. You can bring food on board.
Oh.
Fun.
And it's $185 for all 13 people.
Oh,
Wow.
That's nothing.
That is nothing.
That's nothing when you
Yeah.
divide it by 13. So you can do those in Inver Grove Heights and also in Plymouth.
Oh, cool.
So you can hop online. Experience the Twin Cities is the name of that organization that puts these bus tours on. So they do them like every 45 minutes from like 4:45 p.m. until 9 o'clock every night here through the holiday season. And highly recommend. And Plymouth and Inver Grove Heights are probably two of the top communities. If you want to just go to one town and see a bunch of light shows, those are the two to check out.
And a lot of them do have music synced to the lights where you just drive up, you turn your radio to whatever, and then it's just playing along with it.
Exactly. And there's one display. Oh gosh, if I remember where it is. I want to say it's in like Woodbury or Maple Grove, I think. Let me find it. But you can go on their website and you get to pick which song will play next.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and the
That's
lights
fun.
are synced to that song.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So so that it's all on givemethemic.com.
All right. Well, there you go. Well, it was fascinating learning more about you.
Oh, I would love to come back.
No,
anytime.
well, you can't.
Oh.
No, you can't. You
Which
can't.
one of us is better looking for television, do you think?
Ooh.
That's a good
Stacey.
question.
It's Stacey.
I think it's Stacey.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
That's what I thought.
Especially with the
Stacey.
crown on. You know?
Yeah. She would have to wear a crown on
Yeah,
TV.
right. Absolutely.
All right, there you go. That is Mike Marcotte. Of course, you can check his shows out, Minnesota Live and Twin Cities Live. And they are, of course, on Channel 5 Eyewitness News. Thanks, Michael.
Yep, you're welcome.
We'll see you in the hallway.